Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Jay Carter Ray, and in this video, wow, we're going to be going over the origin of the Titans in Attack on Titan, and we're gonna have a chapter 86 summary. Now, I just read chapter 86 just now. I didn't realize it came out on the 7th. I thought it was coming out on the 10th for some reason. I think it came out on the 9th last month. But yeah, this is the first time I'm reading it month to month. Prior to this, I had just binge read I was gonna say binge watched. I binge read the manga series from from chapter 1 to chapter 85 as soon as I finished watching the anime, because I just thought this series was so sick. And wow what a chapter this was. This was a very interesting chapter. Now, the whole of it takes place within I'm assuming one of the books that Eren and the team are reading in Grisha's, or Eren's dad's, Grisha's basement. And yeah, it details Grisha's backstory. It has a few revelations, to say the least, but also Grisha cannot be trusted as a narrator. Neither can any government sources of history or anything. Most people can't be trusted as you know, being factual and truthful in this series. So you got to take every piece of information with a grain of salt, unless it's like, you know, just super fact and there's no what's the word? There's no, I don't know. If it's like 100% fact, then yeah, you can take it as fact. But if there's no doubt, if there's doubt, then you got to take it with a pinch of salt. So let's start with so Grisha's sister. No, let's not start with that. So Grisha is basically a descendant of Ymir, who was the first Titan, who apparently got her power from making a deal with the devil of this world. And because of that, Grisha and his family, and I'm assuming a lot of people in this place called Eladonia. Is it Eladonia? Let me go and check. I think it was Eladonia. They called them Eladonians. So I'm not sure if everyone there is you know, consigned to this, or if it's just his family. I'm assuming it's quite a lot of people. So yeah, I swear they're called Eladonians. Let me just get to the point. Yeah, Eladonians. So the Eladonians, I'm assuming, are the descendants of Ymir. And yeah, Ymir was the first Titan, and through the government's history basically says that Ymir got the Titan power, and then her and her Titan stole the land and assets from the citizens, annihilated them, and forcibly impregnated them in order to increase their numbers. And this ethnic cleansing carried on for 1,700 years. So yeah, they said that yeah, she got the power and then decided that the other citizens were inferior and began to oppress them. However, the past rulers attempted to bring down Elodia, who had become too powerful and impressive. Their attempts started a war which successfully weakened Elodia. They also took control of 7 out of the 9 Titans and won the 80-year-long Titan War. Now, I'm wondering, how the hell did they take control out of 7 of the 9 Titans? That is a madness. That is wild. How did they accomplish that? I have no clue whatsoever, and I really want to find out. That was not disclosed here. But yeah, even after Ymir's death, her soul was shared amongst the 9 Titans, and the Elodia Empire was established. Elodia destroyed the powerful rulers Mer and became the rulers of this continent. So basically, Ymir and her people then took over. They had the Titan powers. They overthrew the previous government, but now the previous government have taken back power and they're basically subjugating all the descendants of the mayor to poverty and whatnot. So Grisha is one of these descendants, and he goes out to go see a blimp because he sees it in the sky and he's like, oh, that's amazing. He goes with his sister. He goes outside of the walls even though his mum tells him not to. And then he runs across some guards, and one of the guards, beats him up. He says, I think he gave him a choice between a beating or manual labor, and I think it was going to be given to his whole family or whatever. But he says, Grisha said, yeah, it's my fault. Just give me all the punishment. I forced my sister into it too. Just, leave everyone else alone. So he knees him in the stomach and whatnot. And then the other guard says, yo, okay, I'll take your sister home. And then, Grisha goes to leave. And then the first guard who beat him up said, nah, you might as well stay. Like, you came here to see the blimp. You might as well see the blimp, innit? Because it was landing or whatever. And then the next day, I think, or that night, they found Grisha's sister's body in the river, I think. Let me check. I swear it was in the. It doesn't even matter. They found her body, and obviously he suspects foul play. He thinks that one of the guards did it. And years later, after that, the guard came to my man's yard and was dissing his dad, like, yo, you gotta teach your youth about the history and whatnot. If you ain't teaching him about history, then you might as well put a noose around your neck. And now, innit, just badding him up, innit. And his dad, you would expect a dad whose daughter just died would be more angry about the situation, but his dad was taking it on the chin, acting like a little bitch. And Grisha, referred to him as a dog. And then his dad gave Grisha all this history, let him know all this sort of stuff. And yeah, he's basically saying, all we can do is stay quiet in this ghetto because, they'll murder us if we do anything else. Like, so we gotta just play by the rules and stay quiet in order to live a meek little life, innit? A meek little existence. And Grisha, he wasn't very happy about this. He was sitting around wondering which side was wrong, which is a big thing about Attack on Titan. Like, there is no good side in Attack on Titan. The good side are the people who think they're good. Like, both sides think that they're good. They think that they're fighting for the right thing. They think that whatever they've been told is the right way, and their way of life is the right thing, and everyone else is, well, the other side is their enemy, and the other side is wrong. But there is no good guy or bad guy. They're both just opposite sides of the same coin. So it's a bit mad. So after that, King Fritz fled for Paradise Island, who with those left of the royal family, and built 3 walls around them. So that's the city that we already know about. However, not everyone left with Fritz, and the rest of the Eladonians were abandoned in Mer, which is the city that Grisha and I guess the rest of civilization are in. It looks, I think the little island is just off to the right, I guess. Like, that seems to be the only thing. I don't know if there's more to this land because it doesn't show anymore. But for some reason, the previous rulers didn't kill the descendants of Ymir. They gave them land and allowed them to live on. I don't understand. I don't understand why they do that at all, to be honest. But that is what happens. And then when Grisha turned 18, he had a patient in his, I think it's his clinic now. He took over his father's clinic, and no, he was feeling indifferently about taking over his father's clinic, so it was still his father's clinic. So he had a patient who was a rebel, and he told Grisha that his sister was killed by a Mer officer, like that. He's got an informant in the government, and they told him this is what happened, this is what went down. But informants, you can't trust the word of anyone in this. I'm not trusting the word of anyone. Like, it could, I thought that the guard, I thought the guard done some terrible stuff to the little girl, to be honest, because there's no reason for her to just end up dead out of nowhere. But yeah, so I believe this informant, but again, the informant could be, you know, I don't think they should trust him, but this is in the past anyway, so I don't know if they did trust him, but we will find out. But if I was in that position, I wouldn't, you know, wholeheartedly trust him. But then he invites them, well, the rebel invites Grisha to become part of the rebels, and then he gets involved and whatnot after he learned what happened to his sister, because he's very angry about it, and he wants revenge basically. And this whole rebellion, all these rebels are basically trying to revive Elodia. They want to bring Elodia back to, you know, being the rulers of the city, I believe. So they called the informant within the government Night Owl, and they secretly allowed them to carry out their activities. They sent Night Owl sent them weapons, money, and historical literature that Elodians now had no way of knowing about. And through this historical literature, Grisha looks at it and he's like, this is the truth. Our progenitor Ymir opened their eyes to the power of the Titans, cultivated the lands, made roads, and built bridges. In other words, Ymir brought riches to their people, they brought wealth to their people, and helped develop this continent. But like, he can't read this. He hasn't actually read this. He's just looking at the pictures and saying, you know, this is what this means. So we don't know if this is actually true, because his, like, I don't know if I was gonna call him his friend, but his fellow soldier was like, Grisha successfully interpreted this ancient text, and he was like, no, I've yet to understand most of it. But he's just saying, yo, like, this is what it is, because I believe in Ymir. This must be it. We are the chosen children of God, Ymir's people. Like, this, see? They're believing in some sort of ideology that gets them to fight this war. But really, who is the good guy? Who is the person that's right? These guys are just making up things as they go along. This isn't based on fact. However, it could be true. It could be true, but it's not based on fact. We do know that Ymir was the first Titan, and they are descendants of the Titan. Like, those are facts, I think. But this here, that Ymir was this good person who built roads and done all this stuff, not sure if it's fact. So after that, Night Owl sent someone. They sent Dana Fritz, who is of the royal lineage. Apparently, King Fritz left to go to the island because he didn't want to fight anymore. He didn't want to fight the war or anything. No. Wait. Did that? Was it because they wanted to fight the war? Let me read this. There were people from the royal family who rejected the idea of fleeing to the island at the end of the Titan, and who stayed on this continent. She was their Dana Fritz was their only remaining descendant, so she's the only one that stayed on the island. That family was waiting for the day when Elodia would rise again, and laying low with the knowledge of the royal family's Titan, which is Rod Reese's Titan that he gave to, well, Freda Reese, I think. Freda Reese is Titan, and I forgot what the guy's name before her was, but you know, that Titan, the progenitor Titan that has the powers. In other words, what she brought to their group was the path to victory, which is what Grisha believed at this precise moment. When comparing it with the Night Owl's leaked information, it became even more clearer. King Fritz's Titan power that lies within the walls, that is what they believe is the key to Elodia's revival. Because they know that the progenitor Titan can control all other Titans, and if they have that power, then they can destroy Ymir again. But even though King Fritz had that power, he fled to the island, apparently because he didn't want to fight. Apparently the Titan War had started when the 145th king inherited the power of the progenitor Titan. Until that point, the 8 clans had spent many years fighting amongst themselves. Despite this, the royal family had always been able to display the progenitor Titan's powers and restore balance to Elodia. However, the 145th king forewent his duty and moved the capital city to the island. So Dana's family disagreed with that decision and became separated from the rest of the royal family. And all of this bullshit basically happened because the king was like, you know what, I don't want to fight with you guys anymore. I don't want to deal with this shit. I just want my own land of peace. We're going to go over there. And Grisha says, let's fight. It's clear what we have to do. We will retrieve the progenitor titan power from the king who fled inside the wall. So he's got his goal. This is what he wants to do. And then, you know, a little while later, he has a child. He has a child, but it's not Eren. It's not Eren, no. It's the child that we saw in the photograph in the last chapter. And that child is Zeke, the Beast Titan. So that child has royal blood in him because he's got Dana's blood. He had a child with Dana, sorry, I forgot to mention that. And he believes, yo, this child will lead us to victory. And at this time, the world was developing at an alarming pace. It was then that the Elogia revival movement reached a pivotal point. And basically the government were like, yo, guys, we have to gather some warriors from your so-called Ymir's people, like all the descendants of Ymir. We want a couple of you to be warriors to fight for us, yeah? And that's what's gonna happen because King Fritz is on a madness and we gotta get rid of him basically. So the message was like, they said basically, this time we have received an announcement from the evil King Fritz who fled to Paradis Island that soon Elodia will rule over this world and return this continent to the horrors of the past. In order to destroy this mindless ambition, over the next few years we will elect warriors from each ghetto and prepare for this. Now I believe this is probably bullshit. I don't see any reason why King Fritz would send them a message and say that sort of stuff. I think they're just trying to create a way to recruit these guys and brainwash them into working for them so that they can send them to destroy the wall and get rid of King Fritz. I don't know why they care about that, to be honest. I personally, once you win, you should kind of, be cool with winning. You don't need to chase them down and kill every single one of them. So they're trying to pick out young girls and boys from the ages of 5 to 7 and give them a Titan power. And yeah, all the family of the chosen warriors will be named honorary mere citizens and enjoy freedom in the land. So they won't be confined to the ghetto anymore. They won't be subjugated. They'll become citizens, but they're honorary citizens. So they'll still be second-class citizens, but I guess higher than what they are now. So yeah, basically it says that the reason why the mayor government has decided to make a move is in order to prepare for the inevitable battle for natural resources, because recent military technology has developed at an alarming pace. They need fuel and whatnot. There will soon come a time where the power of the 7 titans that allowed Mare to rule now is no longer absolute. Times will change to that of military power as a result of the demand for fuel. Paradise Island, which has enormous deposits of fossil fuels, will no longer be something that they can ignore. So basically, it's like the war in Iraq, I believe. Like they're saying, yo, those people are out to rule the world. We need to, rile everyone up, and we need to get over there and put this to an end. But really, what they want to go over there and do is take all the oil and shit. Like, that is mad. Like, that's what's going on. Oh shit! I just dropped my pad. Sorry. So yeah, that's what they're trying to do, and they want to get inside the walls without letting Fritz know that they're getting inside the walls, because before Fritz left, he let them know that if you guys interfere with us again, yeah, then the tens of millions of titans hidden inside the walls will completely flatten this earth. They're letting them know, yeah, I'll just send all the titans after you and you can eat that, yeah? Yeah? Is that what you really want to deal with? So he's talking smack and whatnot. So the government wants to, get people to invade the walls, like secretly and whatnot, the titans within the walls, and then, get rid of the people in there to kill everyone inside. So obviously, Grisha and his people them aren't cool with this, because if that happens, then it's gonna get rid of their plan, because they believe that as long as this threat exists, no one can openly attack. Therefore, the mayor government the government is going in there to reclaim the power of the progenitor titan, because the progenitor titan is, the best thing out there. Everyone wants it. Like, that is what everyone wants. So they want that so they can control all the mindless titans. And I don't know if you can control normal titans. I mean, titan shifters and whatnot. But yeah, so they want that. Grisha and his people them aren't happy about that, because if they go and get that, then they are fucked, because they can't get the progenitor titan because the government has got it. So Grisha has a wise idea, a bright idea, and he believes that we'll make our son Zeke a warrior. Yeah, we'll send him to be a warrior. He'll be on the inside, give us the information and whatnot, become a warrior, get inside there, get the progenitor titan and bring it back to us. That is what he's envisioning. But obviously, like, his youth is super young, super impressionable, and he's sending him to be indoctrinated by the military and the government. Like, it's not the smartest thing. So basically what happens when Zeke turns 7, he informed on his parents to the mayor government, and the Elodia revivalists were all sent to heaven. Now, prior to this, they had referred to something being like people being sent to heaven, and I thought that they were just being killed. They were just being killed like that. That's what I thought sent to heaven means. But no, sent to heaven basically means that they turn you into a titan and just let you endlessly wander around Paradise Island. They just send you over there. Like, it's just like, okay, you can turn into a mindless titan. So they have some sort of way to turn people into titans. They've had some sort of way to turn people into titans for a time, innit? But I don't know how they do it. We still don't know how they do it. We know that they can turn people into mindless titans. I don't know if there's a limited amount of titan shifters about, or whether I think there was like 9 or something. There was 9 titans. I think maybe that's the only number of titan shifters, and everyone else is just mindless titans. But it seems that all the other titans that are just out and about are titans that the people of Mir, the government of Mir, have sent to heaven. But that personally seems like a very, very, very dumb decision, because you've just created a big threat. Like, you've turned one of your enemies, instead of into a dead body that can rot in the ground, you've turned them into a giant that can eat you. Like, how is that? That just doesn't seem strategically smart to me. That doesn't seem like the best way to go about getting rid of the traitors and whatnot. But also, it does kind of put some pressure on the king and the people in Paradise Island, because they're surrounded by titans, and that's no good, because there's loads of resources out there, so they need to get the resources in order to stay alive and whatnot, because they can't self-sustain in the walls, as far as I know, because they're running out of stuff. So it's mad. It's really mad. I love this chapter. It's very interesting. It leaves us with a lot of questions, but it gives us a few answers. I don't know how Eren and the gang are gonna take this information, what they're gonna do with it. Because he does have the progenitor titan, so maybe in the next chapter he'll learn how to use it from these books. I don't know. Maybe we'll learn how Grisha became a titan shifter, because at this point it's saying that they're going to turn them into a titan and make them mindlessly wander the walls. So if that happens, how does he become the titan shifter? Who does he eat? And how does he get to eat that person? We don't know, because we know that he becomes a human again, or a titan shifter, and gets back inside the walls. He's found outside the walls by, I think it's was it General P? It was someone. It was some sort of soldier. So we know that he's found outside the walls. He gets inside the walls. He gets with, you know, Eren's mom. He makes Eren and all that, and then he basically leaves this to Eren to make Eren be the one that finally brings Elodia back to its grace. But we don't know we don't know whose story was true. We don't know whether Elodia was a great place or whether it was, you know, a terrible place full of, you know, full of oppression and whatnot, and just killing and wanton violence. Plus, in the previous chapter, Grisha said how he lives in a place outside the walls where humans live harmoniously and stuff. This doesn't sound like it's harmonious. This doesn't sound cool. This doesn't sound like everyone's happy. I don't know. I don't know where he's going with that. I don't know if he just lied. I don't know if the writers just changed it up and was like, okay, let's keep it moving. Or maybe it became harmonious eventually. I don't know, but I'm really interested to see what is going to happen next. Please leave your comments down below, your theories, whatever you thought about this chapter. It'd be really interesting to see what you guys think, because I really want to get some other opinions on it. And yeah, please hit that like button if you like this video. Also, be sure to subscribe for more videos. And if you want to check out the rest of my Attack on Titan videos, you can click on the playlist on the screen. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.